I'm Tiffany Michelle Lantello, the first.
The first?
Many to come. I'm a musician of many trades. Today we recorded 2 songs called Doralice and Corcovado, and these are what we call Brazilian standards. I started playing in a jazz trio a few years ago and was enlightened to the fact that jazz musicians also play a lot of Brazilian music. Quis fugir, mas você insistiu. Alguma coisa bem que andava me avisando. Até parece que eu estava adivinhando bem que I was very lucky to meet Lucas and Marcelo back when we were all at Cal Arts together. It just felt like a perfect musical chemistry. They're all about just bringing together the beauty of the music, not making it about ego, not making it about I need to be heard over you or anything like that, and I'm so grateful that I'm able to record with them. Going into college, I wanted to study film scoring. Film scoring has been such a great experience for me in terms of collaboration. It's common for the ego to come up in conversation from director to composer. But the problem is usually communicating in a language that is mutual, right? Because the director isn't learning how to speak really like a musician, and the musician doesn't really know film lingo or anything like that. So I think it usually comes down to what is the emotional experience that is happening in the film or in the scene so that I can do my job effectively to give music that's going to support the film. I started to realize the film scores, the ones that would impact me the most, were the film scores that used elements of music from other cultures. That's what eventually led me to study sitar. It was such a challenge of my ego because everything I knew about learning about music, it was totally not that. They don't use any sheet music or anything to write it down, it's all by ear. So like your teacher will sit there and just recite these syllables to you and it's up to you to play them back. One of the longer form pieces that I worked on while at Cal Arts was a piece for sitar and orchestra. I focused on what they call the 9 ras, and ras means moods or sentiments or emotions. It was used a lot in ancient Indian classical literature and art. So I wanted to experiment with that in music terms because it wasn't something that was associated with music. It was my curiosity to try it out in music and see what the experience was like for the listeners. As a composer and just like as a well-rounded musician, it's so important to just know how so many different styles work. When you're sitting down to write or when you're sitting down to perform or play for yourself, it's about accessing your emotions and just allowing whatever you're putting into your art to just be organic, to be genuine to whatever you're feeling. I've been teaching about 8 years now. I started to teach in my undergrad a little bit, and then I also did some teaching at Cal Arts. That's when I realized that teaching was really rewarding for me. I finally understood why teachers would get emotional at the end of the year, seeing their students leave, after having seen them progress for a year and watching them get more excited about the material. It became clear that I have this sort of trifecta of what makes me an effective artist. The more I write, the better a teacher it makes me and the better performer it makes me. It's more like the more I can do of each of them, the more I see how they all feed into each other. Music is everything to me. Music is joy, it's love, it's a safe haven. I just want to share that with people.
cantinho, um violão. Este amor, uma canção pra fazer feliz a que se ama. Muita calma pra pensar e ter tempo pra